go back to so Malcolm Roberts. I've known Malcolm Roberts since before we got into Parliament. Right? He's a very good bloke, Malcolm Roberts. Heart of gold. But one thing, Malcolm, he's analytical about data. He always says, "Show me the data, show me the evidence." Right? And when I was getting smashed from left, right, and centre, my own colleagues during COVID, the only person I could turn to as a friend was Malcolm Roberts. And I said, "Mate," because he's over in the Senate, and even though you're in the same building, the building's so big, you might not see anyone. You might see them a couple of times a year because the distances are so far from the House of Reps to the Senate. So I rang him up and I said, "Mate," I says, "can you give me some air cover on this COVID stuff?" I says, "It's all bullshit." Right? I said, "It's all bullshit, Malcolm." Right? And he said, "Craig," he said, "send me something over I can read." He said, "Send me everything you've got," right? So I said, "Stuff it." So I just had it would have been hundreds of bloody folders and things and bits and pieces and documents, put them or dumped them all in a couple of emails, sent them across, right? A week later, Malcolm rings me up. He says, "Craig," he said, "I've read everything you sent me," right? And he says, "Pauline and myself were 100% on board." And then from there they took up and they took up the fight, but they did that because they were prepared. Malcolm was prepared to look at the data. It wasn't emotion or heartstrings or I'll follow what this person said mindlessly. They looked at the data. And that's the greatest thing I think about, with Malcolm Roberts and with one
absolutely.
Continually making their decisions based upon the data. And look, I think